We're going to take a look at setup and administration of projects and tasks. You can see there's several different options in the projects administration area. Let's dive straight in and take a look at View a project template. We select the project template we're interested in from the drop-down box, so I'm going to select Evaluation and Sampling. A project template contains the header information for the project and also the tasks that belong in the project. Let's take a closer look at one of those task types. So we highlight the task we're interested in and click View Task Type. A task type can be thought of as a set of instructions for a particular kind of task. You can specify all kinds of things, for example, the people who are involved in that kind of task, particular properties that might belong to that kind of task, and you can also specify the possible task states. States are useful for monitoring and managing work in the system. Let's go back to the project template and we'll edit it. When we take a closer look at the project template, you can see there's control over all kinds of attributes. Let's modify some of them. In the project template, you specify which attributes should appear in that kind of project. For example, maybe we want to modify that the delivery party category is shown. We may also want to specify that particular properties require values. Adding the cost price to this kind of project might be really important. If we keep is required yes, this means when a user adds this kind of a project, they'll be required to enter the cost price. They won't actually be able to save it unless they enter the information. And let's save our changes. Now let's take a closer look at a task type. Task types are really flexible and you can use them for all kinds of things. We're going to look more closely at a sample task type. When the behaviour of a task type is sample, this indicates that this kind of task expects some items as part of the task. Also that the items can have individual responses. Let's press Edit to start modifying. A stakeholder is somebody with an interest in this kind of task. You can specify stakeholders either by account manager type or by individual usernames. Maybe the primary account manager is always interested in sample tasks and we can reflect that in this task type. Similarly to projects, we can specify particular properties are required. So we can select that sample colour is a property that's important for this task type, but if we leave it as is required, no, this means it's requested but not enforced. We can change attachments to yes, which means attachments are now possible. We can also automate that all of these kinds of tasks are always assigned to a particular user. The effect of this is each time a project is added with this task type in it, it will always be automatically assigned to Penny. Properties can be added to different parts of the task as well. For example, we can add sample colour as a property for the individual items. Item properties would be required when the items are added to the task. We could also add item response properties, which would be required when the task was answered. The whole task and items on it can have states. You can have as many states as you need to reflect your process. And you can give names to the states that mean something to you, so I've just changed that from end to sent. Every task type must have at least one end state. Now I click Save to save the changes we just made. We'll continue our journey through the Project Administration menu by looking at Project Properties, and so let's view a project property. Previously we used the property Colour. If we view it, we can see it's really simple. It's just a text value property and it has a maximum length of 30 characters. You can add as many properties as you like to your system, and this means it's really easy to customize your projects and tasks. Let's add a new project property so you can see how easy it is. So I'm going to give it a code of desk and a name of description. I could add some more information in the description box if I'd like to, so I'm just going to say it's for sample description to the customer. And then I have to choose the value type. You see there's different options available, but this one's just going to be a text. So I'm going to type into this kind of a property. And the maximum length of 150. Save. Done. Let's take a look at the last option on the Projects Administration section, that is Manage Project Code Sequences. Here you can specify how codes for projects and tasks get generated. You can see here that you can add more than one project code sequence. Let's take a look at the sequence of next number. The project sequence next number has been designed to apply to all project templates and all users and roles. The code is generating automatically and the mask specifies the kind of code to generate. This one's fairly simple, with %n% meaning a number, incrementing by 1, and then the maximum length being 6 and a padding character of A. We can see the effect of this later. Let's take a look at one that's a bit more complicated, the task code from project sequence. This one has been specified to apply in particular conditions of specific task types. It's being generated automatically and the mask is %p, which means the project code, and then dash %c, which is a sequential number assigned to the tasks of that project. Now let's put into practice some of the things we've learned. Let's add a new project template. So we can choose a name for this project template. I'm going to call it Evaluation and Marketing. Then we choose the behaviour that's important for this kind of a project. So of course it's active, and maybe we want to change some of these options. So perhaps we don't want to show a delivery party. We can also modify if we are expecting to have focus item codes and names and focus applications. So you can see when you're adding a project template, a lot of the information is already defaulted and you can just choose whether to accept the defaults or change them, and also whether to add any project properties. One thing you must do is add at least one task type. Let's do that now. So I can choose from the drop-down box the task types that I'm interested in. So I'm going to add an evaluation task type and a marketing request task type. Both of these are task types I've added previously. So I can press save, and then I have a new project template for my evaluation and marketing projects. When you add a new project template, it's automatically appended to the bottom of the list. So here it is in position 10. We can move it though. Maybe we'd like to see it in position 2, so we select it, choose move to, and just enter the number 2. OK, and it's moved. Finally, let's just add a new project using the template we just created. We can select the project template from the drop-down list, select the code sequence that's appropriate and press save. And then we could go on to enter the actual project details. There's more about projects in another of our videos, Working with Projects. For further information, please contact us. Thank you.